Pick up the tech tonight, fifth of the season.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I got a technical for clapping. So, like, if we should all just go on the calendar now and pick a game that I'm going to be suspended for if I'm going to get technicals for clapping. I asked Gerda. Gerda said that I got a technical for clapping.
That's Caitlin Clark, moments after a win, and she is not talking about the win. She's talking about a technical foul, her fifth of the season, that she says she got for clapping. It's now tied for the most in the entire league, and it puts her within striking distance of a suspension. So how did a victory turn into this?
There was a lot of adversity in this game, being down by 16 in the first quarter, and then things really grinded to a halt in that fourth quarter. How were you guys able to withstand all of that?
Well, I mean, obviously, like, I appreciate the refs just calling the foul so it didn't get completely out of hand, but that might have been on record the longest fourth quarter in history of the WNBA. I don't know. It feels like it's midnight right now, but just proud of our group, especially.
Definitely was a fourth quarter that was way too long. That fourth quarter was about.
Start with the scoreboard, because the final reads 86-77, Indiana over Phoenix, a needed win after a two-game skid. But that number hides how ugly it got early. The Fever scored just 3 points in the first 10 minutes of the game. They trailed by as many as 16, and the whole night carried an edge. Chippy, physical. The kind of game where the tension felt one possession away from boiling over.
Our dog.
From the way we bounced back after the first quarter, we scored 6 points, but we had 3 there with like a half a second. So we figured it out and battled and played good defense on the stretch.
Yeah, under 80 points that you allowed in this game. What did you like defensively in the effort tonight?
Yeah, we just, I think we got the ball out of AT's hands. We got them into some harder shots. We contested around the rim, and then we rebounded, and then we pushed in transition. Thought we could do a little bit better jobs in our schemes and what we're trying to do scout-wise, but play them again in a day.
What flipped it was defense and a third quarter that bordered on a demolition. Indiana outscored Phoenix 30-11 in that period and never trailed again. Clark finished with 24 points and 9 assists on 8 of 17 shooting. Her 6th straight game with at least 20 points and 5 assists, the longest streak of its kind in league history. Now, the slow starts are a fair thing to question, and they've been a pattern. But notice she framed it as a fixable scheme problem, not a person to blame. That distinction matters, and we'll come back to it.
Things got a little heated in this game, and you've got this team again on Wednesday. What's important as you prepare for that matchup?
Just stay focused on the goal. Stay focused on the goal, and that's to win the game. Leave everything else aside and just go out there and compete.
Caitlin, thanks for the.
That was Caitlin Clark.
And notice the discipline in that answer. She's asked about a heated game and an immediate rematch, and she refuses to take the bait. Stay focused, win the game, leave the rest behind. That's a 24-year-old in her 3rd pro season, sounding like a veteran. Keep that composure in mind, because minutes earlier on that same floor, composure was in very short supply. The fourth quarter is where this game stopped being basketball for a moment.
Caitlin, DB posted you that kind of started that whole incident. What did you just see from, I guess, your vantage point, and then what did you hear on the court afterwards?
I thought it was just an arm entanglement, I guess, and I thought it was fine. Like, whatever. Like, I don't think initially there was technicals handed out for that. I guess I think it was maybe the scuffle that ensued between both teams after that. Honestly, I don't remember hearing anything, either specific words, but I don't know. I appreciate having my back. It's nice to have it.
Then the fourth quarter happened. Clark got tangled up near the free throw line with Dewana Bonner, her former Fever teammate, now in a Phoenix uniform, and the whole thing ignited. Sophie Cunningham stepped in. Myasha Hines-Allen stepped in. Alyssa Thomas got involved on the other side. When it was over, 4 players had been hit with offsetting technicals, and Clark picked up a 5th, separate one. Whatever you think of the calls, watch who showed up for her. This Fever roster is built differently than the one that used to leave Clark to take hits alone, and she noticed.
To the damn plate. I feel her.
Job of refocusing and trying to, obviously they called everything from that point, which is kind of what they have to do to be able to control the game. So I don't know how long the fourth quarter was, but it felt really long. So it's fast in the WNBA. You don't get like a lot of time to develop with one another. So just really proud of her and how she came out tonight. I thought she was like diving hard, which was an emphasis coming into the game. It was like, get out of screens. We want to get dives. We want to get rolls, especially even coming out of halftime. She did that really well. She finished through contact. She made free throws. So, and then she rebounded the ball really well, especially.
And this is where I want to push back on a story going around. Some are framing Clark's post-game comments as a shot at her own coach, Stephanie White. Listen to what's said on both sides, and that framing falls apart. White spent her time praising a player's growth and effort, diving for screens, finishing through contact, crashing the glass for extra chances. And when White was asked about Clark's technicals, she didn't dodge and she didn't pile on. She said Clark has to be aware that some of them are avoidable and that they'll keep reminding her. That's a coach managing a star, not feuding with one.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
If any technical should be taken away, it should be that one. If it's truly for clapping, that's what they said they gave it to me for was for clapping. So it's just ridiculous. I don't understand it at all.
So even within that though, how aware do you have to be of the 8 technical fouls?
I mean, I'm going to play with emotion. I'm going to play with passion. And if they're going to give me a technical foul for clapping, then so be it. That's their choice. And the league can come back and review that play. And I'd love to hear what they say of the reasoning of why I got the technical foul in that situation.
So what happens to that technical now? The league reviews it, and there's fresh precedent that cuts in Clark's direction. Just last month, Dallas guard Paige Buchers was hit with a technical for clapping against Atlanta on May 22nd, and the league rescinded it within 2 days. If the standard is that clapping alone isn't a technical, Clark has a strong case to get hers wiped, which would drop her back to 4 for the season. And the number matters more than it used to. Under the new collective bargaining agreement, the WNBA runs an escalating penalty system. Clark's 5th technical comes with a $1,000 fine. The real cliff is the 8th. That's an automatic 1-game suspension plus a bigger fine, and every technical after that costs another game. Clark has never been suspended in her career. Sitting on 5, she's 3 away from a line she really doesn't want to cross, with most of the season still to play. Her argument is about consistency, and it's worth hearing clearly. She's not claiming she should be able to scream at officials with no consequences. She's asking why a clap drew a technical, when, by her account, players on the other team did far more in the same sequence and didn't get one. Either everyone in that scrum gets a technical, or the calls should match the actions. When the standard shifts from moment to moment, players stop trusting it. Now, the fair counterpoint. Officials were trying to keep a lid on a game that had nearly come apart at the seams, and in that environment, a clap aimed at an opponent can read as taunting rather than passion. That's a judgment call, and judgment calls are exactly what fans argue about forever. The grown-up position is that both things can be true. Clark can have a legitimate gripe about this specific call, and the officials can have been doing their best to manage a volatile night. The review exists precisely so a bad call in a heated moment can be corrected after the fact. And this isn't only Clark's problem. She's tied with Angel Reese for the most technicals in the league this season, which tells you the friction runs deeper than any one temper. When 2 of the most watched stars in the sport are both bumping up against the technical limit, that's less a story about 2 hotheads and more a signal that players and officials aren't on the same page about where the line sits. The league has a real interest in sorting that out before it costs a marquee name a nationally televised game.